be sure to visit our sponsor at GoCollect.com.
Reggie here, your friendly neighborhood bodybuilder and comic book collector, and I want to welcome you to another one of my videos. I am excited about this haul video, and I'm excited for a couple of reasons. There are some books in the stack to my right that I am just pumped to have in my collection for a couple of reasons. Some of them take me back to my childhood. Some of them are books that I've always wanted but wasn't able to get. And then some of them are books that I just recently was exposed to and decided to get, and I'm super thankful that I was able to actually obtain them for the collection. So there's a couple of different reasons why I'm excited about this. There are a lot of other books that I picked up as part of this recent purchase. I'm not going to show those now. I'll probably record those as a separate video and release those a little bit later because it would be a really long video. So I kind of broke it up into a few different chunks. So hopefully you guys will come back for that. And if you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, I definitely want to encourage you to do so that you can stay abreast of all the content that I release. So these first set of books that I want to show you are books that I've talked about in the past. I actually want to give a huge shout out to John. John sent me a copy of the graphic novel, A Death in the Family, and it was the first Batman book that I've ever read. From page maybe 4, I was hooked, I tell you. And I actually started trying to track down the individual copies because I enjoyed it that much. And John actually recommended that I do something different. He recommended that I read essentially, one book per day for 4 days, in the graphic novel, and kind of digest it instead of just reading all the way through, kind of digest it. And it was actually a really good suggestion. And I took it a step further. I actually recorded a video for each chapter or each book that I read with my initial reactions, my thoughts. Again, not knowing the full story, not necessarily knowing what was going to happen. It's a great way to kind of see my real-time reaction. So if you haven't seen that, you definitely want to check it out. It's a good couple of videos because there are 4 of them. So you may have already figured this out if you've been following the channel for some time. We are talking again about A Death in the Family. This, unfortunately, is book 2 of 4. I wasn't able to track down book 1, but I am hopeful that I'll be able to get it. But here is book 2 of 4, a really, really nice copy of this book. Every one, honestly, that I'm about to show you is in amazing shape. Here is number 3 of 4. This is where it all went down right here. Really, really cool issue. This story was fantastic. Fantastic. If you haven't read it, read it. Yes, it's from 1988, 89. It's a really good read. Here is book 4 of 4. My buddy Jim Starling did a fantastic job on this story. So while we're on the DC thing, I thought I'd show you guys the next book. This is Tales of the Teen Titans. This is issue number 44. And this is a pretty significant book, kind of ties with the last one. This is the first appearance of Nightwing. It is the origin of Deathstroke and also Jericho. I don't know who Jericho is, but the other 2 characters, I do know who they are. I'm actually looking forward to reading this. I haven't yet done that, so I want to do that soon. I picked up not just 1, but 2 copies of this book. The next one so I recently started reading and rereading to some degree some Ultimate Universe books. And I did a video on this, and I think a couple of people actually picked up the Ultimate Universe Wolverine versus Hulk. And it was a really good read. That kind of piqued my interest into looking at some of the other Ultimate Universe books. So I, of course, started with the very first one, right? From back in 2000, the very first book was a Spider-Man book, Ultimate Spider-Man. So here we go. Ultimate Spider-Man number 1 is what I picked up. I read it yesterday. Fantastic. This is a fantastic read. If you are a Spider-Man fan, this is a good book. If you are a fan, in my opinion, of just a good story, this is a good book. I don't know what the FMV is on this book, so you may want to read it on Marvel Unlimited, check it out there versus just buying the book, but I really enjoyed this. I read issue number 1, maybe 1 and 2 yesterday. I'm up to issue 6 now because I've been reading it basically nonstop on Marvel Unlimited. I only have the issue number 1, but I'm hoping to be able to get the other issues at some point down the line. because I enjoyed it that much, and I would like to have this as part of my collection moving forward. So this next book takes me back to my childhood. As I kind of alluded to at the beginning, there's a couple of these that are childhood-like books. G.I. Joe #1. This is just a cool book. This is, and you'll see my note, maybe you can read it. I basically say the first appearance of everyone, because literally this is the first appearance of all of the characters that many of you may have grown up with. And so I'm very pleased to have this one in the collection. I'm looking forward to reading this one. This one actually isn't available on Marvel Unlimited, so I was a little disappointed with that. But I am looking forward to actually cracking this one open and reading this, because I have a feeling that I'm going to enjoy it. I've never read a G.I. Joe book before, but I am excited to read this one. This next book also takes me back to my childhood. Transformers #1. The first appearance, I'm not sure if it's the origin, but I think it's the first appearance of Optimus Prime, Megatron, Starscream, and a host of other characters. This is a really cool cover. That Optimus Prime is just slick. I don't know if you guys saw that recent variant that I think it was Mutant Beaver put out. I was so tempted to get that book because it had a wonderful cover featuring Optimus Prime. It was slick. I didn't do it, but I was tempted to do it. So definitely pleased to have this book in the collection. Looking forward to reading this one as well. This next book, again, is another childhood book. I had this book as a kid. I still have it. It's actually signed by Dale Keown. I think that's how you say his last name. Pumped about this one. This is Hulk 377, the first appearance of Professor Hulk. There is a rumor that he is going to appear in the MCU. Who knows whether it's going to happen or not, but my other copy is signed. I wanted an additional non-signed copy, so that's why I picked this one up, and it's in amazing shape. What I also realized when I looked at this book was that my signature is very reminiscent of Dale's signature. So somehow maybe that seeped into my subconscious, and that's why my signature looks the way that it does. So I got a big kick out of seeing that. All right, so the next couple of books I think are just really cool books. There are some ways books that I saw when I was younger that I didn't pick up for one reason or another, mostly probably because of money or lack of understanding of the significance of the books. So I'm pleased to have these books in the collection now. Shadow Man #1, this is the origin and first appearance. And again, I have a healthy number of Valiant books here in the room. Not as many as Marvel, but I have a healthy, respectable number of Valiant. And so I'm definitely pleased to have this book in the collection. We also have Magnus the Robot Fighter #5. And again, each and every one of these books are in solid shape. Again, just couldn't be more pleased with the quality of the books that I was able to pick up. This next one is Spider-Man 2099. This is the first appearance and origin of this one. This is some red foil action. Takes me right back to the 90s. Really nice cover here. I picked up not one, but 2 copies. And you'll notice that this second one is actually a newsstand copy. So definitely pleased about that. So there you have it, a little bit of a haul. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and certainly, again, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so. If you need anything from me, don't hesitate to reach out at Regie Collects on Instagram and regiecollects@gmail.com. Take care.
Be sure to visit BCW Supplies to learn about their 950 plus products for collectors. Products include card sleeves, display cases, comic bags, storage boxes, and gaming folders, just to name a few items. Head over to bcwsupplies.com today for more information.